Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Imagine being born with a gift, a power that comes from the very essence of who you are. Magic that you cannot choose or obtain, it just comes from within. What would that magic power be? Would it be dangerous or helpful? This question may be best answered by someone who knows you, someone who knows the real you. Let us confer with our two mystical minds, Will and Tom, as they search within for an answer. Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
And this is Will Stark.
Will, we have another fun-filled episode.
As we do always.
We're also going to have another DCYI trading card giveaway for our patrons.
Indeed we are.
We're also going to have a nice little messages from beyond segment at the end. You know,
okay,
we
nice.
had a few people write in, telling us their thoughts. But let's get down to business here, and let's get down to the first question.
Okay.
What if everyone had a single magical power that they were born with or that like would come about because of who they are, or you know what I mean, like that type of thing. And it's not going to be necessarily something that you get to pick. So it's not going to be like, oh, well, if I had magic power, I'm going to fly.
Or I pick teleportation.
Right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you can't pick what it is.
It is based off your personality, then, right? It's based off who you are.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be based mostly off of like who you are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It could be maybe involved to do with like what you do and stuff as well, but like mostly how you see yourself as a person. You know what I mean?
And so we're picking for ourselves.
So, well, actually, I'm going to pick your power and you're going to pick mine, but I do want to see what we thought our own power would have been.
Oh, okay. I thought we were leading with what we thought.
Yeah, we could do that first.
Okay, yeah. Let's lead off with the powers that we think we would have.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the powers that we think the other person would have.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
So Tom has been letting me know. Well, this is the first episode where he's been letting me know the questions ahead of time. We're going to try that out for a little bit to see how it changes our conversation with me being able to think ahead of time. So I actually have my stuff written down.
Yeah, so it's true, people. Will literally has been... For all the time before this, he's never known the questions really, and he just had to
think on my feet.
Yeah, he had to pull those answers out of his brain.
Yeah, and lately I've been having to like really, really like not second guess myself, but like my initial thoughts I end up not going with because I'm like, oh, that sounds so similar to what I talked about in this episode or that episode. Like, I don't want to sound redundant or, or predictable or any of that stuff. So I go, maybe let's change it up. Let me have some thinking time ahead of time. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so magic powers, the parameters, like you said, they're based off your personality or your own characteristics or skills.
And it's only going to be one.
And you just get
one power.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Who do you want to go first?
You know what? I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like, just based, it's always...
You're doing it yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm doing myself right now.
So these are the powers that you think you would have.
I think I would be born with, just based off of who I am.
Okay,
right?
for sure.
And God, I feel a little cringy saying it because of like, I don't like talking about myself all that much. I don't want to, right?
Okay,
you know what I mean?
No, it's fine.
But
the floor is open for you to glow.
Yeah, I know. This is only based off of what others have told me in my lifetime.
Okay, for sure.
So you know what? Actually, let me start off with, I asked my wife what she thought my power would be.
Okay, I asked my fiance as well, and my stepdaughter chimed in, so I'm going to talk about all their suggestions.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I really liked her answer. Actually, my wife said she would think I would be born with the power of persuasion.
I actually thought about that.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Like,
I did.
Is that the one you picked?
No, it's not the one I picked,
okay.
but it's one I seriously considered because you do have a very good tendency of getting what you want out of people and not making them think it was their idea, but doing it in a way that like they're happy to do it for you.
Yeah.
Like usually you leave with someone with a smile on their face.
Okay. I'm glad you left that part in there because like there's another bad side to that where it's like I could make people do what I want.
Master manipulator.
And I don't like to manipulate.
No, and I wouldn't accuse you of that, but I did consider that, so I see where she's coming from.
Yeah, that's
funny.
That's what her answer was.
Uh-huh.
I actually chose another thing that I've heard my other friends tell me about myself, which is like to make people laugh or like
I consider
to lift
that. Yes,
spirits, right?
that was another one I was thinking of. I was like, he's like a comedian. He makes people laugh everywhere he goes.
Oh, okay.
But that's not the one I chose.
Okay, I'm glad to hear you say that though, because now I feel a little like I feel vindicated, I guess is the word. You know what I mean? I feel like
sure.
Not vindicated.
I have reestablished your confidence in the
exactly.
answer.
Now I feel like I've gotten that approval that what I was thinking is kind of true. So
absolutely.
So funny. I do feel like if I was born with a magical power, I think it would be that
make people laugh.
Yeah, make people laugh.
I could see that for sure.
I love doing it. I love to do it. In fact, I think just recently, probably within the last week, I think I told you that I was really considering trying to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Because I've tried improv, and I love that, but stand-up is a totally different It's a totally different monster.
Yeah,
it's a different beast.
For sure.
But I really would like to try that. And I just love making people laugh. Usually when me and my friends are all hanging out, I'm always cracking the jokes. I'm always trying to get the party going, laughter, people talking, whatever, Yeah. So I think, for myself, that's how I feel the power that I would be born with.
I'll say this. The first thing I knew about you before I got to know you, like if someone had asked me oh, Tom, what kind of person is he? The first thing I would have said, oh, Tom, he's really funny.
Oh, really?
That's exactly what I would have said. But let's talk about this power for a minute here.
Blush.
Let's talk about this power. How would this power work? This, because it's magic now. This isn't
you're right.
It's not what you normally do. This is magic now. How does it work, and what are its real term effects here?
So, if thinking of the power wasn't difficult enough, I actually had a more difficult time thinking of the logistics of how this type of magic would work, because
I almost think it's like charm magic, basically.
Yeah, right.
And so basically, I wonder how this would affect your ability to be funny in real life. Because anything you say is going to make people laugh, right?
Oh, because of the magic ability.
And you'll never know if they really think you're funny.
Oh my God, no. No, I would always just know they're just laughing because of my magic power.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, that sucks.
But you would kill it in stand-up. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You would be the funniest dude on earth.
But I would be that what is that? The stereotypical sad clown, right?
Yeah,
you
would be.
Make everyone laugh, but I would
be
sad because I know the only reason that I'm good and I'm doing all this laughter is because of the magic power.
Yeah, you would be everyone is laughing, but no one's in on the joke but me.
Yeah, exactly.
How tragic. That's horrible.
That does seem tragic, but it kind of seems cool. Now I want to make a movie about this.
Here's another, I know, right? Also, could it be weaponized? Is it can you make people laugh, without, for instance, and I'm not the best person to talk about the Dark Tower trilogy because I've never read it, but Brian has told me a lot about it. And one of the scenes he likes to bring up a lot is, you're familiar with the movie It, right? Pennywise?
Oh, yes.
So Pennywise is a creature, I think he's semi-related to vampires. They're a type of creature that feeds off emotion. Pennywise specifically feeds off of fear. There is a cousin species that feeds off of laughter. And I think Roland, the main character, and his party come across such a being, and the being is just making them laugh and laugh and laugh
really?
to the point where they can't breathe. They're starting to suffocate. They're starting to die.
Man.
Could you do this? Would you be able to infiltrate anything by just saying zingers as they're coming in to rob the bank, and everyone just fucking dies laughing? And
I know, right?
That'd be crazy.
You'd totally put a Joker type twist to this, like the Joker.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I'll be honest with you. Yes, because it's magic, I do think that could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably focus it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is how I would feel it would happen. Like, I could focus that to the point where, just like you said, someone would just laugh and laugh and laugh where they couldn't catch their breath and they would eventually suffocate. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to breathe.
So you could
That's
very easily be
thought.
that's a very scary power.
But you know what? That is a scary power. But you brought up this other half of that. Like, what if, I could diffuse highly tension situations?
Yeah, you could be the best negotiator on earth.
And yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe I'm in some negotiation room between two countries that are warring, Ukraine and Russia right now. You know what I mean? Like, I could go in there and I'd be making Putin laugh and I'd be making everyone else in there to where he's like, you know what? He's a funny guy. I'm not going to attack Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. I mean,
I wish
that would be
definitely
possible. That could, but I do wonder, like, every power usually has like an anti-power or a weakness or something it doesn't work on. I wonder what the kind of person who impervious to your laughter power, I wonder what that would mean about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even with magic, there's always some kind of a counter, something that it doesn't. You're right. I can't think of one.
Off the top of my head either.
But as of back to your original question on the logistics of how it would actually work. Mm-hmm. So I was actually thinking of when I was first thinking of this answer to this question, I was thinking of I would have something to do with like changing people's luck, right? Because I don't know if you remember when we talked about one of our episodes, we said like we have like a knack of something, something that you do, but it's like you don't
can't
control
prove it,
yeah,
and you don't know if it's true. It's almost like a superstition about yourself.
Exactly, and in fact, I kind of tested it again when we went to our small little mini moon or mini honeymoon after we got
married again.
Yeah, remarried again. We went to Vegas, and every time I sat down next to my wife, that's when she would be winning. Yeah. And when I would leave and go play my own games, when I came back, she said she lost.
Interesting.
So in my head, I'm like, But see, that type of power, it's non-controllable, and it just happens, right? I don't know I don't know if there's a word to describe that. It just happens. You just go by, and it works, right? Mm-hmm. On that, I don't think the humor power or to make people laugh would work that way. I think I would actually have to try and tell a joke.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it's a funny joke or not doesn't matter as long as I'm telling it and people are hearing it. It's good. It works.
Or what if the joke only works if you think it's funny?
Oh, really? Or maybe that too.
So you can't just tell any joke. It has to be a joke that you actually find funny.
Is funny,
and then it works.
That would be a neat caveat because, like, I always hated movies where magic solves everything and there's like, you know what I mean? And that would be a good balance where I couldn't just willy-nilly be like, hey, look at this stupid clown face, and then or whatever, you know what I mean? And then people erupt in laughter. You know what I mean? Like you're right. It would have to be something where I think it's a funny joke, and then it would just work all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I would imagine this would work.
Same. I think we figured it out. Yeah. So how do you want to do this? Do you want me to talk about what I think I would have, or do you want to continue talking and then you talk about what you think I would have?
No, let's go to you. What you think that you would have been born.
Okay. So I almost want to talk about what my fiance suggested more, but what I'll do is I'll start with, because I reached out to them, and I'll start with what her and Scarlett came up with for me.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious because when you told me, you were like, "Oh, I really love their answers." I was like, "Oh, I gotta know."
I was really, really. I was like, "Oh, that's so much better than what I came up with for myself." Let me see here. Gosh, we text a lot, so I gotta find it. Even though she texted, oh, here it is. Okay,
wait, real quick, I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna look for it a little longer, but I just wanted to interrupt one moment, real quick. For our listeners here, if you're interested in having this question done, ask a friend or ask like a coworker or your significant other. Ask them what they think. Your power would have been.
So, Michelle texted me back and she said, I think you would have the power of being able to predict the future or being able to make calculated guesses that almost always come out right. I know why she came up with this one for me because there's almost no movie or show that we can watch where I don't figure out. I'm like, oh, I bet you that this person's actually the bad guy, and this is what actually happened, and this is why, and blah 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 blah. And I'll lay it all out, and then it's like watching me like push over some dominoes and just watching them fall unfold the way I predicted.
You're doing that with me right now. You realize that, right?
Yeah, with your show.
I just started.
I like how you told me one thing. I'm like, oh, so that's probably Odin, and it's probably this.
Probably this. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm just waiting to finish out the season to see if you're right.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I do have a tendency to be right, so I know why she thinks that. And I was very flattered, so thank you, babe. But Scarlett chimed in because she asked
I want to know
my stepdaughter, and Scarlett said that I would have the power to get her ice cream anytime she wanted. And I was like, well, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And she also said, and also that I would have the magic power to make Liam smile at all times, which is a good one. She says.
I think you already have that power.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said I already have that power.
Yeah. The ice cream thing actually is a little fitting because you and ice cream
go together.
I know you're.
Yes, I love ice cream.
What do they call that? A
connoisseur.
Of ice cream.
But let's go to the power that I gave myself. So I've named the powers that I came up with today. So my power, it's actually, I got the idea for the power both from the way I am in my conversations with people, but also it is an exact fit against a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition background feature. Now, this background feature comes from a background called the Sage, and the feature is called Researcher. But I've renamed this for myself. So I have the magic power of information recall. The ability to recall any pertinent information I have ever absorbed related to the topic at hand. And if I do not have that knowledge, I know exactly where to find it, how to find it as quickly as possible.
But Will, we were supposed to make up the power. You have this power
I do not have that power.
I do feel
but I do have a tendency to.
I do feel like you kind of do have this power.
Yeah, I do have a tendency to know a lot about any given thing that I have a wide general pool of knowledge, even if it's not necessarily deep in a lot of fields. But when
I talk to you about when I talk to my friends about you, I always tell them he's one of those guys that knows a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah,
that's how I always tell them.
I like to learn, so I always am learning and reading. But yeah, I just figure let's say I'm helping to to do a heist, right?
Yeah.
And we're doing a heist against, I don't know, Bank of America. In that moment, as we're making the plans, like zoom out, and suddenly I'm going through this limitless not montage, but that that scene in Limitless where he's everything's going through his head.
Yeah, it's all the information.
Every information I've ever heard in my entire life or read in my entire life about Bank of America comes up, and I just can spill it out wherever we need, whether it's security codes or what I know about the security team or what I know about where they keep the money or any of that stuff.
Almost like Matrix style where they say I need to know how to fly a plane. Yeah, or I know Kung Fu.
And then if I don't know the information that I need, I'm but I know exactly how to get that information. And bam, I pull out the computer and I'm going to the exact places I need. And within 10, 20 minutes, I have the information I need. Cause I think I am very good at Googling things, which I know
you are actually.
I think a lot of people don't realize that Googling things is a skill, and you can be really good at it or very bad at it. One thing I learned about my sister, I love her to death. She's terrible at Googling anything.
Oh, really?
We'll be playing a game and we'll be trying to figure something out, and I'll be you know what? Google this question. And I'll even give her the thing to say, and she cannot find it. I'm all right, really? I'll hand her the controller, and then I pull out my phone. I literally find it in 5 seconds.
No, I do know this about you. That is very true because even stuff that we like to talk about here on the show and everything, sometimes later we're talking about it or whatever, and then we want to, wait a minute, what about this? And you are right. I feel like I have medium okay skills in Googling, but in Google Foo, but your
Google Foo is strong.
Yeah, your Google Foo is strong, you know what I mean? And I do feel like you, because when you're Googling stuff, especially when you want to find a particular answer that you think might be scarce or something that's on a topic that's not common, you need to be specific. But if you're over specific, it doesn't get you what you're looking for.
True. Yeah.
So you have to know what keywords to put in there. And you do have a really good power of Google these words in this order, you know what I mean? And
I'll literally when you're Googling something, I will sometimes dictate to you, no, say this, and this, and then you'll get it. So that would be my power that I think I would have is information recall, this preternatural ability to pull together every fragment of knowledge I've ever heard in passing or read in passing into one focal point. And just be able to use all that knowledge, and then anything that is missing from my needed knowledge, being able to know what it would take to get that information. Because maybe I can't get that information on the internet, but I know that it's probably being held in a database that's located in this location. So it's like, okay, well, we got to do this heist before we do that heist.
So now in that, like, let's say if it's that type of situation.
Yeah.
Now, since it's a magic power, now do you need any kind of device, laptop, internet connection, Wi-Fi, or is it just you use your brain and you could already go into this database and look at everything?
You know, I didn't know how crazy we were getting with the magic or not. So like, if this is a high magic setting, a high magic world, then I almost picture like a nanotech VR set goes over my fucking face, right?
Okay.
And I get jacked into like an internet like thing, and I'm able to like hack into whatever mainframe or whatever I need to get whatever I need.
That's way more descriptive with visuals. I was just thinking your eyes will start fluttering and go white, and then that was it, and then boom, you already know.
If it's more like low magic setting where it's nothing wild like that, then I would just know, but I would have to actually go to the location to get the information.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it just depends. All right. So do you want to go first?
So
Okay,
so now that you've done what you thought, you would have been born with, let me tell you what I think you would have been born with.
All right.
So we all know that Will loves to do a lot of tasks. He's always doing he's either doing the dungeon cast, he's doing Super Quest Saga, D&D stuff. He's spending time with his family, his kids, not to mention this podcast that we're doing right now as well.
And all my hobbies.
So if you don't know this about Will, yes, he is always doing a lot of different things. He's always working on some project, and when he has free time, he fills it up with more projects.
It's true. It's very true.
So
project addiction.
Yes. You know what? We're gonna start a show. What does that air on, like A&E or something? One of those like they do like Intervention, or whatever those type shows. You're gonna have project addiction.
He just won't stop making projects.
Yeah, I know. It's Michelle's crying. She's like, I just want my fiance back.
That's horrible.
So what I think that you would have been born with is the magical power to create copies of yourself. That way,
that'd be so confusing. That way, I could be my own band.
Exactly.
William and the Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You also have your music projects. I forgot about that. You're trying to write an album.
I could be William and the Williams.
Yeah, let's go. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
Anyways.
So, I figure that you would have a copy, each one tailored, right? This is how I imagine that this type of magic would work. When you're working on a project, you'll literally, you're working on one project. Let's say you're on your computer and you're doing research for the Dungeon Cast, right? So all of a sudden you see yourself doing that, and then you see yourself get up, but that one William is still there, and he's tailored to the Dungeon Cast. This other William that you just saw get up and walk away, maybe he goes over to your guitar, and now he's strumming, practicing or whatever, right? And so, that's going to be tailored towards music.
Man,
and you could get all these everything done.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you seen Watchmen?
Yes,
it reminds me
exactly.
of Mr. Manhattan, how he splits himself up.
If you do remember that scene, then just don't piss Michelle off.
I know,
what he
right?
tried to do.
Are you really here with me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically, yes.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like, what do you mean? That's badass. But then I was looking at it through her point of view, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of a dick move, because you're not really giving her. I mean, I know it's him there, but if you think about it, you're not giving her your full attention if you were to do that.
Yeah, you're basically equating
exactly
their intimacy with all the other tasks that they do at all times.
Yeah, that's why I put that little stipulation in there where each William is tailored only towards the one thing.
Yeah.
So that way.
Now, the way that that I would like this power versus not like this power is as long as when the clones, or the copies come back into me, I retain all the skill and data that they've achieved, right?
Oh yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. That it would kind of be it would kind of be a moot point, because if you got work done, but then when they came back to one, like the William Prime or whatever you want to call it.
Prime.
Like when that happens and you don't retain what they've done, you would just have to go through everything they just did.
Again,
No.
Here's a question. Would I be able to send one to go to sleep? so that the rest of us don't have to, because that would be amazing.
Okay, now that's interesting. So if you sent one to go to sleep,
and then when he came back to me, I would be rested, right?
Will you feel refreshed and rested?
That'd be nice.
I'm gonna, you know what? It's magic. I'm gonna say go.
Hell
with it.
yeah, this is an amazing power, and I love it.
The reason I say go with it was because actually my first choice that I was going to give you, and I thought this was what you were going to give yourself, was that ability to not have to sleep. And
yeah, but that's what I would want. That's not what I think I would have based off who I am. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. That's why I changed it, because when I thought about it, I was like, no, that's not necessarily like what he. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be able to just get a lot of projects done in a timely manner, and doing.
And I'm always pushing myself to get as much done as efficiently as possible.
Exactly. And now, whenever you do, maybe now you're like, I am going to create my own ice creams. Well, now you have another William that can just start doing that.
It's true. It's very true.
So yes, that's the and I didn't think of a name. What would it be? Multi-will?
Multi-man maneuver. No.
Multi-willy.
No.
I don't know. That'd be weird.
I get the idea. We could come up with a name for it later.
Yeah, right, but that's basically what I would think you would have.
Okay, so let's pass the torch back to me. So, it was really hard for me to come up with yours, because although I did come up with both the one you came up for yourself and the one that your wife came up with for you, I felt like those were too on the nose. I was trying to like think about something that's like really keyed into your personality, and one that you might not have actively thought of for yourself. So I have come up with your power, and I've named it Endless Entertainment. Okay. So let me read this, and then I'll expand on it.
Yeah.
Whenever you choose, you have the ability to have the most entertaining time possible, anytime, under any circumstances.
Oh man, that sounds so awesome. Okay,
so here's the thing about Tom is he is. I know. What did you call me? You called me at the beginning of this podcast. You called me an information fiend.
Oh, yeah,
you are an entertainment fiend.
Yeah,
you are always seeking out and finding various forms of entertainment to an extreme degree, which is almost difficult for me to understand. Whether it's like just a plethora of movie upon movie upon show upon show upon game upon game, whether it's VR experience or this experience or that experience, or it's going out and trying this and going there and eating here and going there, and like you're always doing something and you're always having a fun time.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've become very good at having a good time, if that makes any sense.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm always trying to live my best life.
You always know like cool places to go or have cool stories to tell about cool places you've been, et cetera, et cetera. And even if you haven't done something, you have plans to do something or a longing to do those things. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the way this power would work is like, whenever let's say you go out, right? You're going out and you're having drinks with your fiance, but it's just kind of
my wife
night. Yeah, sorry, your wife. You're just kind of having a night. You're just like, you know what? This could be better. And you snap your fingers. And then, so I had two ideas. One, it could be a really high magic setting where literally you snap your finger and like in a flash of light, everything's transformed into like a crazy awesome night with all this cool stuff. But I kind of like the more subtle version of this, where it's like you snap your fingers, and then all of a sudden, like 2 drinks are brought by the bartender. Like, hey, the person down the way wanted to buy you and your wife these drinks, blah, 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 blah. And then you turn and it's like a couple that you know, and it's like your friends. And suddenly they're there and you didn't know they were going to be there. And then like suddenly a band starts playing, you know, because it's open mic night. And it's a really good band. And suddenly a whole crowd comes and it's great. And like things just start happening. And like, it's kind of like in Harry Potter when he drinks the good luck potion.
Yeah.
It's like things just kind of happen in a way where you had a great time and you have a great story to tell about it. And I could see that happening in a situation where you're like at home bored. You're like, there's nothing to watch. And you snap your finger and sound like, I heard about this. This is an amazing thing. And suddenly you watch an awesome thing, you know?
This sounds like an awesome power.
So I think endless entertainment would be your power.
You know what? That is awesome. Actually, I wish I had this power. And the way that you describe right now, the way it should work, that's actually the best way, because that's always the more fun way. Yeah, it's not forced. It's something that you're just like, it just happened. Look at this.
It just organically starts happening. Yeah. And snowballs. It has like a snowballing effect. Yeah.
Watch, next time we're out, I'm probably just going to try it just to see. Like, have you ever done that? You know, like when, like the first time you watch Star Wars or something, and then when nobody's around, you try to use the Force on a cup or something.
I think everyone's done that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Me and the wife are going to be at a restaurant, and I'm just going to look around and go, and snap my fingers.
She'll be like, what was that?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just and looking around,
Just
like waiting for something to
out.
happen. Yeah. Dang, that sounds awesome, man. I think both of our powers, I really like them, and I hope that someday we will be granted these powers.
That would be nice,
and it would be awesome. And I hope one day I'll come into work and I'll be like, oh, hey, well, what's going on? You're like, oh, hey, and then another one of you comes out from the hallway. Oh, hey, Tom, and another one of you comes out from the back. Hey, Tom,
that'd be amazing.
But dude, could you imagine?
Sir, can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
All right, everybody, it is now time for the DCYI trading card giveaway for our patrons. So, our first winner we ever had was Gato Del Agua, and he won the Oh Snap the Juggernaut's Back.
Yes.
The second winner we had was The Last Mile, and he won the... I think it was the Clout, Continent of Clout card. And then Mariko Fujimoto won the third drawing, and she won the Pikachu card.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. They actually went in order.
Reverse order, which was cool, though, because
dice
it's done...
spoken.
Yeah, exactly. It was done randomly, but, hey. So now we are going to draw the fourth winner. And the fourth winner is...
I'm really bad at drum rolls. Let me try that better.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
This time I'm not going to put a real drum roll over it. I'm going to leave that in.
Okay, great.
And then the fourth winner that we have for the DCYI trading card giveaway is Nick Woisen.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. We do appreciate your support. And, we're going to roll the die and see which card that you won for the DCYI trading card giveaway. And Nick Woisen, what is your poison?
I like that. Here we go. Rolling the dice now. Number 1. What is that? Is that Pikachu?
Oh, that was Pikachu.
All right. Another Pikachu card being sent out.
Nick Woisen, you have won the Pikachu card. And this was based off of episode 3 where we had where we had the questions of what if Pokemon were real and what if George Harrison or John Lennon didn't die from the Beatles.
Yes.
It's an awesome card. It might be my favorite card. And if you're hearing this, you have won. So let us know how to send this to you.
All right.
I just have to say, I'm honored you're making a musical about my life. I'm so excited to see how it turns out. I really appreciate you giving me a special sneak peek before opening day.
No problem. It was a passion project. I loved making it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the musical, which is your life. Okay, everybody, take it from the top.
Whoa. Why are there elephants? I never had any elephants in my life.
Look, it's okay. Nobody has to know that. The public doesn't know that. It gets better. Just watch the rest of the show.
Monkeys? Now there are monkeys? I never had monkeys in my life.
Don't worry about it. I took a little artistic license. The people will love it.
Okay, enough. Stop. I never, not once, ever had a lion in my life.
Cut. Okay, look. Your life, well, how can I put this delicately? It's boring. I had to jazz it up so it would be entertaining. The audience is gonna love it. You'll be a huge star.
A star? A huge star? Oh, yeah, lions. I remember lions. Okay, everyone, take it from the top. And we're back.
Indeed.
Will, this next one I'm kind of excited for because I've recently just I've watched some remakes of these. And the question is, what if your life was a musical?
Now, see, here's the point where I'm normally surprised by the question.
Yeah.
But I'm not because you told me this.
I told you. I know. I was waiting for a response, but
I was like, wait,
none.
I can't fake a response.
I need to
here.
insert you to go, ooh.
I will say that this question stressed me the fuck out.
Yeah, it kind of did for me a little bit, but I think because, I was thinking of the question before you knew it, before I told you. Even.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me just get with some parameters. So basically what I'm looking for is this. I'm not saying that your whole entire life has to be in this. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily what I mean. It doesn't have to be from when you were born and all the way till now. Mm-hmm. Basically what I'm looking for, the parameters are, we need 3 songs. We need the title of your whole musical, for what you think right now would be a good title. Obviously.
Okay. Well, I did go with the life because it was the easiest for me to do.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And then what we're looking for is 3 songs, basically. 1, which would be like your intro song, right? Like this is the song that, when you get introduced in this musical, right? What you think people see you as.
So this is a movie though. Like this is actually
it's going to be an actual musical movie. Yeah. And then the second song will be a romance song, right? It'll be your love song, right?
Sure. Okay.
And then the third one, I'm going to just call it the big number. But what I mean is by that is like, it's not like the end number. It's not going to be, it's like what you, like everyone has hopes and dreams and what you want to be successful at and what you would want to get from life.
Okay.
This is that song, right? This is the things that you're looking forward to for the future.
Okay, and these are originals, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be originals, but like I'm not gonna put you to the irons and be like, hey, let me hear this original song right off the bat. You can tell me other songs from other musicals, like it's gonna be like this, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'll definitely have comparisons for sure because again, I did not think of titles for these songs.
Yeah, but you can't pick like, I don't know what, like you can't pick. What was one of your favorite songs from? Like, let's say Hamilton.
Let me, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Wait for It, obviously, is a great pick. Okay. I mean, every fucking song from that musical, but so Wait for It. Yeah.
So, for example, you can say like, oh, my intro song or whatever, it's going to be in the style of Wait for It from this play, but you can't be like, that song is
right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're on the same page.
Okay.
Real quick before we get into it, let's talk a little bit about how we feel about musicals. Not everyone likes musicals. What's your relationship with musicals?
I love musicals.
I also love musicals very, very much. And I think that surprises a lot of people. But no, I fucking love musicals. What are your top 3 musicals?
The top 3 musicals I really like are, okay, so Wizard of Oz. I love the Wizard of Oz.
Respectable. It's a great movie.
Yeah. And then, let's see, Wizard of Oz, probably, Grease.
That's a great. Right? I love Grease.
Yeah, Grease is like the Wizard of Oz. I've also just really quick. I also got to play that when I was in high school in the band.
Nice.
They put on the Wizard of Oz play, and I actually got to play the songs. It was so surreal to be able to play it, and then remembering watching it as a child too.
That's interesting. I mean? Yeah.
So Wizard of Oz, Grease, and then I think the third one I'm gonna have to pick Mary Poppins.
That's another great movie.
Yeah.
That one's a little surprising from you.
Yeah, it's either, well, it was really weird because don't get me wrong, there's these other ones I love. I do like Hamilton as well. I love Chicago and things like that. But those are very different. And my top 3, they are kind of what I gravitate to, just because of the nature of those films.
They're feel-good films.
They're feel-good.
Yeah, they're very happy.
Whimsical.
Yeah, whimsical for sure.
Which is what I go for. I usually like that.
They also all have a good deal of comedy in them.
Yes, and I do
Mary
like
Poppins,
having that.
You say Mary Poppins, Grease, and Wizard. Yeah, all 3 have a lot of comedy in them.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I love musicals as well. There are 3 very different musicals from the ones that you just said.
I'm
a big fan of. I think it's 2004, 2005 Moulin Rouge. Fucking phenomenal film. Although that one, that's a different kind of musical because it's a jukebox musical. It's a musical in which all the songs in it aren't originals. They're popular songs. Oh, yeah,
you're right.
But they're reimagined for the sake of the movie.
Or the show.
Fucking love that. That's a great movie. Hamilton, obviously, is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. A real masterpiece of our times. Very dramatic. And oddly a historical musical.
And the music was, I mean,
Yeah, it's like a weird mix of like
it was so good.
yeah, the music's amazing. Lin-Manuel Miranda is incredible, but the music itself is like a mixture of like hip hop and rap meets almost just like classic musical.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful blend. And then Chicago is another one that's up there for me, which is like a weird 1920s crime drama.
Yeah.
It's really good though. Fucking love that. And
I was surprised at the people in it and how well they did, and the music
most
too.
excellent. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite musicals. Who do you want to go first on this? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You know, before we go to do our answers, have you ever seen Fritz around?
No, I have not seen Fritz.
I don't know where that guy is. I'm probably.
I know you
fire
have
him.
this weird year long before you fire him thing.
Yeah,
I think that's
you know,
too long. I would have fired him already, but it's your choice, man.
You know, I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
You know, I should look into how many PTO hours he has.
But on a very long vacation.
Since he's not here, I had to do our own deep dive. So let's take a deep dive into musicals.
Okay.
Details from the deep. So one of the facts I found here is that there are several types of musicals, some of which are as follows. They have what's considered a comic opera. They have, which is also known as like a light opera, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a sung dramatic musical, often with a happy ending. Then they have what's called like an operetta, and that is also a type of light opera with light music and plot. They have a musical play, which is plays performed as a musical that are not necessarily comic. Musical comedy, which is comedy musical presentation dramas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have burlesque, which consists of comic skits and sometimes strip teases as well.
Interesting.
And then they have something they call music hall, which includes a variety of entertainment forms like comedy, special effects, and popular music. Broadway is something that's very known for people if you like music, not just musicals, but like plays and theaters. But a lot of musicals go through Broadway.
Sure.
And a lot of them, that's where they want to go to get famous.
Wicked and Hamilton are two that come to mind.
Yeah, exactly. Today, Broadway is known worldwide as the heart of New York City's culture of performing arts. Broadway is a street situated in New York City, which starts from the lower Manhattan and passes through New York. It is located between the 41st and 54th streets from 6th Avenue to 9th Avenue. Broadway has about 41 theaters, but only 4 of them are actually located on Broadway Street.
For sure.
So, and some of these theaters are like some of the largest ones around, and they have like a capacity of like 500 people.
That's not nearly as big as I thought they were going to be.
I know, right? I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but then when I was thinking about it, I was like,
I've been in House of Blueses that can hold more people than that.
Yeah, right? And it's kind of like, I wonder why, I mean, I know it's House of Blues, but like sometimes you would think like, oh, you might want to listen to some musicals going on that stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
The very first musical theater performance, which happened in the United States, even before it was a country, was an English musical named Flora in 1735.
Mm-hmm.
And until 1752, New York did not have any significant theater performances as a form of entertainment. But then a British man named William Hallam sent a group of 12 actors to the American colonies and established a theater.
This will not do. We must have musicals.
Exactly, right? That's the way I figured he was, dude. He's like, what? Like, it's like... but he went to Williamsburg, Virginia, and established a theater there. And some of the plays which the company put on were The Merchant of Venice, mm-hmm. and The Anatomist. So that's what we got on some, just to, enlighten some people on the musical and theater arts.
Okay. So who do you want to go first, you or me?
I went first on the first question. How about you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. So the musical of my life, I have decided it's going to be an emotional drama.
Okay.
Since most of my life has been an emotional drama up until like the last 5 or 6 years where things have kind of culminated, mm-hmm. In a way, into much happier circumstances. As for the musical style, I chose, it's hard for me to put in words like the way I envision this, but an orchestral rock opera with other contemporary like inspirations as well. So not strictly rock.
Oh, okay.
Because like, obviously, I'm a big fan of metal. I'm mm-hmm. going to have some numbers in this movie that are of the metal or hard rock genre.
Yeah.
But the entire movie isn't going to be that.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking almost a la Moulin Rouge, where they, even though that's a jukebox musical, but like it goes across a bunch of different genres.
Yeah.
So I think my musical would definitely be along those lines. Oh, you know what? Also, sorry, honorable mention on my favorite musicals. This isn't a movie. This is an episode of a show. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer has a musical number that's not this isn't just me speaking.
Yeah.
This episode is called Once More with Feeling. This episode is legendary. Most Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans will tell you their favorite episode is the Once More with Feeling because it's so phenomenal.
Yeah.
I highly recommend anybody who likes musicals to check out that one episode. Maybe you might have to do a little bit of reading to get some context on the characters because I'm pretty sure it's like season 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a fucking amazing episode.
That is funny. I remember you telling me that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, because I remember liking Buffy the Vampire Slayer too.
Yeah.
But I don't remember that episode.
Oh, that's a legendary episode. And Joss Whedon and his brother, what's his brother's name? Well, Joss Whedon directed the show, and him and his brother wrote the music for that episode.
Oh, okay.
And him and his brother worked on another musical project together called Dr. Horrible's Sing Along Blog, which is another amazing musical. That one's only like 45 minutes if you can find it.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to my musical. So I kind of like wanted to be as inspired by Hamilton as I could. And Hamilton is almost like a mini biography of a single person's life. So I'm going with that feel for this. And of course, it's my life because this is a musical about my life.
Yeah.
So the working title is William, A Story Lived.
Oh, okay. Okay. I like it.
William, because that's my name. And A Story Lived because you know how I feel about stories in general.
Yeah.
So what were the songs again? You said intro song,
Uh-huh.
the romance song, and the big number, right?
Yeah.
So my intro song I wrote here. I don't have titles for any of these.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Similar to Hamilton's introduction, a song that gives the background of a boy born poor and physically and emotionally abused, but from a young age develops both his intellect and artistic side and aspires to rise through to become a man that he deems worth being. Hamilton begins with a song, I believe, just called Alexander. And it is a song that is there to introduce the audience to this character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sung from a lot of different point of views, but it kind of goes through the different beats of his young life to get you ready to like, okay, now he's here at this point, like trying to get into college.
Yeah.
This is everything he's gone through up to this point. Like, this is what makes him tick. This is both what makes him amazing and also are his deepest flaws.
Yeah.
That is kind of the number I think that this movie would start with. Like, this is the thing that made him the person he was. This is where he is now. All right, let's get the movie started.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
I like that.
definitely
I like
what
that.
we would do. I had a very tumultuous childhood, a very disturbed childhood all the way up through my teenage years. So I think we would just said like, these things happened. These are the things that were important to him. This is why he is the way he is. All right, here we go. He's a young adult now.
Yeah.
For romance. Okay. So, my fiance and me, we have a long history. And when we first met back in high school, we were in different relationships and we had very strong feelings for each other that we could not act on. So it was a very forbidden kind of thing going on.
Forbidden love.
And which it was a love that was denied and we went our
Yeah.
separate ways and lived our separate lives. And then when we reunited and met again for the first time after 12 or 13 years.
Dang, yeah.
We just, the spark was still there and the love was there and
Yeah. Now it ignited.
ignited and there was nothing to stand between us and here we are. I have a kid now.
Which is cool because I was there for that part.
You were, yeah.
I wasn't.
Which, as you know, is a pretty epic story in and of itself.
Yeah.
With, I don't want to get into the details.
Let me reiterate. I wasn't physically there when it actually
Tom was
happened.
literally by my side the entire time.
No.
It was really weird.
But I was like, I did get I got to talk to you
got all
and
the
got
deets.
all the deets.
Yeah. And then for the big number, let's see. I'm just going to read what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Big number. This is the toughest, I said. Life usually doesn't have a singular moment of climactic success that changes everything. This song comes at the end of my life, hopefully. So this movie won't be made until I die is the way I see it.
Oh,
this music
okay.
Yeah. And so I would like the big number to be a culmination of my life choices and actions, a recap on a life lived, I said a la Beautiful Ride from
from
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Yeah.
or even the ending of Hamilton, which is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, where they kind of like, he died and this is what Eliza did, and this is his legacy, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a fucking epic number. I would hope mine would be epic. Not as epic as that because I'm not fucking changing history. But like, hopefully it was a life worth living, right?
We can't see the future yet. Maybe we will change history. Maybe you will.
Who's to say? But yeah, I guess that would be my musical. William, A Story Lived.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I really like that.
Thank you.
That's really cool. It's going to be very apparent that mine is very different.
Sure.
From yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I would imagine it would be.
So like, I kind of like, I did imagine that like some of my history, like of growing up and things like that, would probably be in other songs throughout the movie. You'll get drops of information, right? Mm-hmm. But mine is going to mostly, first of all,
did you pick a genre?
My genre is going to be, it's a musical comedy. Right?
Oh, okay, nice.
And
what about style? Did you pick a style?
Like in the style of like, it's so hard. I want to say more in the style of like, I don't want to say, because like West Side Story, okay, in the style of how it was shot.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
That like that way, right? You know what I mean? That way, maybe like I could kind of see Mary Poppins. No, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Grease. Actually, I could see that with Grease because with my friends, right? You know what I mean?
Okay,
so, like in the style of that. That's the kind of style, right? And
by the way, I love Grease. Grease is a great movie.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And so the way I look at it, first of all, the name of my musical would be called In the Tune of Tom. Right?
Ooh, I like that. In the Tune of Tom.
So I was thinking that the way that my intro song would be, I may not be the first character in my own musical that comes out right away.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
You might meet and see some other people at first, right? Mm-hmm, and what I imagine is like there's like like they want to have a get together, but it's not really happening. It's not it's not as fun.
They need the man with the endless entertainment magic power.
Yeah, exactly right. And so then so my intro song is called Ha Ha Good Times, right?
Okay.
That's going to be like the hook. Like,
okay.
Like I don't know how the song's exactly going to go, but it would be like, like Ha Ha Good Times, something, whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So I don't know how familiar you are with swing music, especially modern swing music.
Relatively, yeah.
Okay, do you know Big Bad Voodoo Daddy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you know their song, You and Me in a Bottle Makes Three?
I might if I heard it.
So it's the one that goes like, you and me and a bottle makes three tonight.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so maybe I'll insert a little bit of that into this podcast.
For sure, absolutely.
But it's a high, upbeat, energetic, like a swing song, right? Mm-hmm. And basically it just talks about like you, me, and we're having drinks and it's fun times. Like that's basically kind of what it is.
Your movie sounds much more fun than mine.
Well, but yours, yours would probably win Academy Awards. Mine may be a feel-good movie, but I don't know if we'll win anything. But so that's like my intro song, mm-hmm. right? And it'll be like, oh, here comes Tom, right? Now it's haha, let's laugh. We're going to have a good time.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Then I imagine at this scene or so, that's where I meet my love. That's mm-hmm. where I meet Ashley, right? Mm-hmm. And now imagine, I guess it's going to be like an operatic style music.
Right?
Wow.
We're shifting gears.
It's shifting. Yeah, it's going to shift, right? Because it's kind of like a musical comedy, I want to have a lot of different shots at like what's it, like satire, like different skits of like different styles.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Make it my own, but it'll have different styles in there.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be a little operatic, and it's going to be in that style of from West Side Story, I think. Mm-hmm. It's the song that goes like, somewhere, somehow. You know that song, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So it's going to be like that, sung in that style. But the song's going to be called...
Oh, no.
The song's going to be called Union of Love in Nerdom.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So it's going to be about these two nerds who, like, want to... they want love, you know. They're single and they're trying to look for each other, you know, and then, you know, through this party or whatever, right? This is like, even though that's not how we really actually no, you know what? Because the way me and my wife really met was through a mutual friend, and it was kind of like a blind date. So I actually think what would be funny is if in this play we met at this party, but like we didn't get a chance ever. It was always like those almost happened meetings where we're almost going to talk to each other. It didn't happen. And then later somebody suggests I go out with so-and-so, and I'm like, who's that? I don't even know who that is. You know, like John Travolta in Grease, you know, like, hey, what are you talking about? I don't know. Right. Then, okay. Then the big number, right?
Okay.
The big number that I have, it's going to be called Fuck It, Let's Do It. Right?
Oh my God.
The reason it's called that is maybe I'll have to like edit the fuck it part. Maybe it'll just be called Let's Do It. It's your movie. But like the reason I say that is because of the fact that, you know, a long time ago, especially when I did improv, right? The reason I did improv was I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm going to do it.
You have a yes man moment.
Yeah, it was a yes man moment. Yeah. And ever since I've been doing that, better things have come along. After I did that, when I was doing that, all of a sudden my mutual friend, you know, say, hey, Tom, if I set you up on a blind date, would you go? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Yeah. So she did, and that's how I met my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So, and then now in the future, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of other creative projects. You know, like I told you earlier in the first question about stand-up comedy and all that kind of stuff. And when you try new things that are super scary, especially something like that, like you have to just say, fuck it. Just go do it.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Don't care. Just do it.
Or like when I'm like, hey, Tom, let's start a podcast.
Yeah, that was exactly my other point I was going to bring up was when you said, let's start a podcast, I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I was like, let's just do it. You know what I mean? So that's the name of it, right? And it's going to be an orchestra style song, but in the style of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh my Jesus. Right? Okay. Oh boy.
So it's going to be like that whimsical, you know what I mean? Like high energy kind of teaching you like, just do it. Like, fuck it. Let's do it and do this. You know, I
like it. That's cool.
So
that
would be my big number.
All right. For sure.
For that, you know, as far as what's going for the rest of my life in the future, I don't know yet. Yeah, so like, obviously. You know, I figure there may be a sequel, you know, to this. You know what I mean? Maybe later I'll feel different about certain things and there'll be different songs.
In Tune of Tom 2.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In Tune of Tom 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Tom Tune. I don't know, Tommy's Tune. Or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what I'm gathering for this is go to Tom's Musical if you want to have a laughing good time. Come to mine if you want to cry about a lot of dramatic bullshit. But it does have a happy ending. Mine has a happy ending, as far as I can tell so far. Yeah. Or maybe it ends horrifyingly tragic.
No, don't.
We won't know. We won't know until the end.
Yours, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a double feature, and ours are gonna play on the same screen, one after the other. You know, who knows? It'll be randomly who gets first.
Sure.
You know, see
absolutely.
First. But dude, could you imagine? I open my mind's eye and peer into the dimensions, looking for those who will speak or give noticeable mention, whether they be new or with us all along. Let me hear all the messages from beyond. And welcome to Messages from Beyond. Will, we actually had quite a few people write in.
Okay.
And on our YouTube.
Awesome.
And I wanted to read some of these off. I really thought what they had to say was interesting or funny. This one right here was from Benway23, and he was writing for season 2's episode 7, The Most Interesting Android in the World. And he put, thank you for providing something thoughtful and interesting to listen to. I was almost considering watching season 2 of Star Trek Picard, which, by the way, I have to say, I've only watched 2 episodes so far. I think only 2 episodes have aired. I love it. So Benway23, go watch it. Watch it.
Thanks for watching us first, though.
Yeah, listen to our podcast first, and then watch the episodes of season 2 of Picard.
For sure.
Then we have for episode 8 of season 2, Hench Fries and Minion Rings, we had Eric Orzov say, so I'm Australian, and I'm mildly obsessed with hot dogs from around America.
Oh, okay.
So with all the places like Chicago Phillies, and Texas, etc. So I think Eric Orzov would really love
Willie's Wild Wieners.
Yeah.
So would I.
Yeah, exactly. Darnell Hudson for the same episode. He said, "Fuck, man. Now I want to make a themed restaurant. Okay, hear me out. D&D themed restaurant with the 80s era cartoon DM as the mascot."
Okay, that would work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you're not familiar probably with that cartoon. Maybe you are. I know it's from your time period.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I mean, you're always talking about stuff from the 80s, Tom. I don't know what to tell you.
Era.
Yeah, have you ever seen the D&D cartoon from the 1980s?
I do. I don't remember a lot of it, but I do remember.
So
it,
the character he's talking about is, I'm pretty sure, the Dungeon Master character, just called Dungeon Master. And he's like a weird old man in a red robe. And I think he's bald, but he has a beard. And he's just kind of like whimsical and over the top and a little creepy.
Yeah.
But he makes for a good mascot. I'd go there.
Yeah. He goes on. He does say the staff are dressed as famous D&D characters. Serves breakfast all day, which I can get behind.
Sure.
I would love that.
Yeah. But what about the food? Is the food like D&D related?
You know what he says? He says like, okay, so but like that all food delivered needs to be within a day to the restaurant, so you can get your food human or orc sized, right? Medium and large.
Okay, for sure.
For a halfling, it's kids meal, right?
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe you want it elf style, which is vegetarian.
I was about to
salad,
say
healthy.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said, "Dude, I need to keep thinking about this."
Yeah. No, that sounds great. Did he have a name for it?
No, I don't think he had a name.
Okay. Either way, I'd go there. That sounds amazing.
Maybe another one of our listeners could comment and put a name for that.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool. And then the last one here, Zachariah Scouten says King. He was talking about the supervillains that we would. Work for.
Yeah, the henching. Yeah.
Yeah. He actually said Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, also has to deal with Hawkeye. So you might get hit with a random arrow that could vary from a standard arrow to one of his many trick arrows.
Yeah, I forgot you picked Kingpin. I just think that's such a bad pick.
I know, but
because you'll get the tar beat out of you, and that's just out of like Daredevil. Like, you've seen Daredevil, and like, I'm sure you've read some comics. Like, if you mess up, he will kill you.
I know, but you know what? But out of Marvel's villains,
yeah, I remember
it's just
struggling
hard.
too.
I could not think of anyone.
Yeah.
You know, really.
No, it was tough.
Yeah, and I even told him too. I wrote back on him, but like, yeah, like that would suck because I wouldn't know what kind of arrow is going to hit me. Is it going to be one that's going to electrify me to where I'm, I pass out,
or is he just going to kill you?
Well, I don't think Hawkeye would kill me, but like,
I mean, I don't think Hawkeye abstains from killing. I don't think that's a thing of his.
Oh, really?
I always think so.
I always thought when he's fighting non-lethal.
No, that is specifically a Daredevil and Spider-Man thing. They don't kill. Yeah. Everyone else don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're right. Then he might just kill me. Or I was hoping that he might just get one of those slime ones, and I'm like stuck in this ooze.
Yeah.
Move, But he'll probably kill me.
The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcast review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dudecouldyoumagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts, until we meet again, to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Scarlett chimed in because she asked
I want to know
my stepdaughter, and Scarlett said that I would have the power to get her ice cream anytime she wanted. And I was like, well, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.